welcome to another episode of Do the Damn Thing. My name is Laura, and today I am very, very excited to be joined by Marie Tavernier, all the way from overseas. Welcome to the show, Marie.
Hi,
How are you? Well, tell everyone where you are in the world.
I'm in London. I'm in the UK.
Very nice. I believe you are our first international guest, so you have popped our
Oh,
overseas cherry.
good stuff.
Very excited. Well, we're very excited to have you, and we really just want to get to know you. We want to talk about your story, your business. I know a
Right,
little bit about you, and I found it to be very inspirational. And we're hoping that we can convince others to do the damn thing. So let's start by telling
absolutely.
people what do you do? What's your online business?
Okay, so my online business, I concentrate on people who were like me in the beginning, so beginners, people who want to create another way of getting an income stream in. They want to work from home. They want to be around their kids. And these are all things that the position that I was in 18 months ago. And I'm concentrating on people who are at the very start. They don't have a big social following. They feel like they need the 10,000 and the swipes up. And I teach them that they actually don't. They can do things on a small budget. So I create courses, webinars, ebooks, whatever I can in the digital field, just to teach them exactly how to use their social media to start earning some money.
Awesome.
Um, yeah,
And it's obviously a booming industry, and everyone's, especially with coronavirus, but even before that, everyone is turning online and looking to ramp up their social media skills. So let's
right.
talk about you. Where did your skills come from? How did you become the expert that you are today?
Oh wow, an expert.
Yeah.
I still don't think I've quite taken on that title yet, but I'm getting there. Okay, so I started off in sales just over 20 years ago. So with a marketing background in sales, in property sales, in telemarketing. I did everything that was commission based, and I kind of worked my way up the ranks. And then I went into online. So I started to do things like sort of selling space, ads online, and magazine space. And I kind of realized that if I can do this for somebody else, if I can sell this space for someone else, if I can use online as a way of bringing in an income and I can make them triple the amount of money that I'm earning for myself, there's got to be a way that I can do this as well. So I started to dig around. I started to look into other ways that I can put my stamp on things. And the more that I sort of dug around and found things, I realized that there are people already doing this. They've already kind of hit the nail on the head. They've already got it out there. And I want to do it too. I want to see if this can work. And I started off with a blog.
Yeah, no, I did a brief stint in sales, and personally, that I think that is a tough job. It's very stressful. You never know what your paycheck's going to be. Your success really, really heavily depends on others. Sort of buying what you're selling. So, was there a moment for you where you decided? Maybe I don't want to work in this industry and I want to do my own thing. Like what was that light bulb or that aha moment that went off for you that allowed you to just it's a bold move to go out on your own. So what was that like?
It is. Um, there was, I actually, as you were asking, I actually remember it specifically. I remember working for a company called Thompson Local, who did ad space. And there were listings, and they had the online, they this new section where they had an online section, and you were to sell a website and you were to sell ad space to newbie entrepreneurs. And I remember going into this woman's home. She was a mum, a single mum with a little boy. And I was to sell her this £1,500 package. And I remember putting add-ons on. So it ended up being 2,100 in the end. And she didn't have the money, but she was prepared. She bought into me. But I didn't believe in the product. I didn't believe in what I was selling. And by the time I got the signed paperwork, because obviously you've got the dragons, behind you kind of breathing down your neck to get these sales in. But then my heart and my values and my morals, I just couldn't connect the two.
Right.
And at that point, I just said, enough's enough. I can't do this anymore. So I remember spending a lot of time actually working with her out of hours to make sure that her money wasn't a waste. And I put that in off my own back. And then afterwards, I just said, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh
I can't do this
God,
anymore.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that story. I actually had a similar experience. I was working selling uh, ads on television, and it was selling
yeah,
it to like local plumbers and small business owners. And I was like, I don't know if I believe these television ads are going to help these people. So I really,
right,
really identify with that story. That's awesome. So you make this decision to kind of go out on your own. What's day
right.
one like? Are you just like, I'm gonna build an e-course, I'm gonna start writing? Did you already know the basics to launch a successful like Instagram business, or did you have to educate yourself?
I had to educate myself. I was studying at the time. I was getting my HR degree with two small children. Um, and during the degree, I started my blog about a year before I graduated. But I had no social media. I had no Facebook. I had no Instagram. I had nothing.
How
And
long ago are we talking here?
pardon?
How long, like how many years ago was this?
This was 2016, so
Okay.
just 4 years, just over 4 years ago. And when I started that, when I graduated, I actually had a teaching position set up for like a graduate position, and it was paying 21K. And when I coming off of a sales background and knowing what I could earn, and then looking at that possible paycheck, I just thought, well, how am I going to do this and take care of two kids? And run a successful blog, it doesn't add up.
Right.
So at that point, I just thought, no, I can do this. I can do this myself. So I started to dig around for Instagram, and I actually got it off a TV program where they were making millions to an Instagram post. And I thought, well, I think I'll give this a try. Yeah, so that's how it started. Yeah, it's just a moment. It's just a moment. It's a
Yeah.
moment.
Well, you must have some innate belief in yourself to have
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So you've got that strong character, which is amazing because you've got to have those cojones to go out there on your own. But those are our people. Those are the people that we look for at HipCat. We look for people with brass cojones, and
Of course.
most of them, are happy and grateful that they did make that jump and did do the damn thing. So,
Definitely.
did you have a mentor? I know that you're out there teaching
Right.
others. Was there someone that you looked to, or someone you modeled?
Yes, I have done. I've modeled people that I found on Instagram, but initially I would find someone and I would literally hound them until they spoke to me.
An annoying factor. Knock, 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 knock,
I
knock.
would I would just be on their phone in their Instagram DM saying, can you speak to me? I actually did it a couple weeks ago, and we speak all the time now. I did it to somebody else on Facebook, and I just said, well, you're doing, a lot more revenue than I am. I can see that from your posts and the things that you share. Can you tell me how you did it?
Yeah.
Just talk to me, please.
Lay it on me.
Bring it on.
do.
Yeah, just bring it on.
And they do.
Pardon?
And they do.
And they do.
Not
They
bad.
do. And
Not
they
bad.
actually, you know what? I think that's the one of the things that people forget. They or they're too scared to realize is that if you show how hungry you are, they can't deny you. It doesn't add up because they're hungry too. They have to be where they are.
Right.
So when they see that it's like kismet. It's a connection.
Right.
So yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
there. They recognize. They know the struggle. The struggle is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I stalk them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been known to stalk some things every now and then myself. No judgment here. No judgment. Now,
Good. Thank you.
do you have like an industry or a niche that you specialize in? And if so, was it always that way? Where do you get your clients?
A lot of my clients come from freelancing. I built my portfolio up on Fiverr. I also built my portfolio up on Udemy. And then from there, I've kind of funneled a lot of my clients into my own email list.
Mhm.
And then once they've come into my email list, then I speak to them and have conversations with them that way and do, small coaching calls, that sort of thing. But in terms of a niche, we're just looking at beginner entrepreneurs,
Right.
people who want to make money. They want to add a second or third income stream, but they don't know how because they haven't built up they're looking at all these so-called influencers and they're thinking, well, how do I do that? I know I have a skill, and I want to make more money, but what do I do? How do I bring more in? I'm focusing on those people. So majority mums, single mums,
Mm-hmm.
especially. I kind of focus on people like me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
the your message is going to resonate with that audience, so
yeah,
that makes absolute sense. For those of us just joining, I did want to remind you we are live right now on Facebook with Marie Tavernier. So if you have questions, comments, or just want to say hey, go ahead and enter that into the chat. And in the meantime, you are getting a bunch of likes and hearts. So I know you can't see it, Marie, but I can see the love is coming
oh,
in.
thank you.
You're welcome. But in the meantime, I want to ask you a little bit more questions here. So, do you have an area that you specialize in? Like, is email marketing your thing? I know you mentioned that once you get them into your orbit, you send them a lot of
Yeah.
emails. Is there a focus, or are you kind of all over the board?
I'm quite broad across digital marketing, but my focus has always been affiliate marketing.
Oh,
And yeah, simply because I find that it's one of the easiest things to get into initially. And I do like teaching people that they don't have to have a blog in order to do that. I think a lot of people connect the two and they feel that affiliate marketing means a blog, and that means it's going to take two years to build up the content, build up the audience. And actually, no, it doesn't. You can affiliate market to your small audience on social media. And I teach how to do that, how to start.
well, talk to me
Um,
a little bit about that because I think of affiliate marketing as like, hey, I use, I don't know, Constant Contact as my email provider. So now I'm going to
sure.
tell my people to use Constant
Yeah.
Contact, and then I'm going to get a little piece of the cake from those people.
Right.
And is that
Right.
is that what you're suggesting? But I would too. I would assume that I need a large audience before I will start making any money. I'm not trying to get your course for free, but maybe a nugget.
Yeah. Do you know what? The main thing about affiliate marketing is this. If you're using a product, then you're going to speak about it with a little bit more a bit more gusto. There's going to be the loyalty in the brand that you've chosen. So that's fine. And you can share that, no problem. But you can also go on to something like Share a Sell, and you can sign up for products that you have never heard of before, but you know that they would resonate with your audience. So if you've got an audience where the engagement's really high on things like memes, or funny videos, or quite serious, maybe you have a social media with a lot of quotes, you can actually find a product that specializes in that, and you can share that product and you can drive traffic so that
Right.
they can get more of what you can't post. And they can have it, like a diary. It could be a journal, affirmations. It depends on what your audience has become accustomed to. And you can find all the products there and just start sharing different things on different medias. So it doesn't have to be all focused on Instagram. You can put some stuff on Snapchat or Twitter. It depends on where your audience are and what they've become accustomed to. And if you're new, then just choose something. Just start from afresh and
No,
choose
that's
something.
amazing because I think that most people assume with an online business you have to have a product, but you're
Yeah.
sort of saying you don't need nothing. You just
No.
spread the good word and watch
Yes. Yeah.
the mailbox money roll in. Yeah, that's a really different approach on it, and I kind of love it. I kind of need to start doing
Yeah.
that. I might need to take your course.
Good.
uh, we have we have a
We'll
question here.
see what we can do. We'll work something
Some
out.
sort of trade deal. Melissa wants to know. She loves how you just went for it. Were you scared? How did you push through that fear?
Um, Do you know what? I wasn't scared at first. I probably have become scared at moments during. When I started, I just went gung ho completely in. And I think it comes from my sales background. It's the focus. I put everything into little boxes. I knew how many emails I needed to send, how many calls I needed to send in order to convert. So I went with that mindset into my business. So I knew then that how many pieces of content I needed to create in order to draw people in. And then just to do that on a consistent basis, which is no different from sales, especially when you're on, doing phone sales or you're knocking on doors. There's a process,
Right.
But then there are moments during the process that you do become scared. Of course, yeah, yet
Right.
you're responsible for the information that you put out. So yeah.
Right, right, right. As I do these interviews and I talk to people, I find that a lot of people say, I didn't exactly know what I was getting into, or things are different than I thought. It sounds like you've
Right.
got a little bit of that, and that you're like, I had no fear going in,
Oh,
but then the
exactly.
fear sets in. So, what are some of the things
Yeah.
that are really different than what you had expected?
I think no matter what, it's the consistency. It's realizing that as things become quicker, you're having to keep up with that. And then initially, people were happy with just a static post.
Right.
They were happy with a quote or a picture, or a basic meme. But now it's having to be video to get more engagement. So, and now the memes are having to be a little bit more refined. And you're having to put your personality out there and just find wording that connects with your audience and different age groups.
Right.
Yeah, that can be challenging. It can definitely be challenging.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, we've got a quick question. So, Melissa says she doesn't see herself as an expert, but can she still
Yeah.
make a course or an ebook to sell what she does know? Any advice for that?
Absolutely. 100%. You do not have to be an expert. One of the best examples I was given before I created my first course was, if I can't remember his name, I'm going to find it now because it's going to bug me. But he, he actually made a course by reading a book. This guy, he made thousands, millions off of just one course. He read a book, and for every chapter, he studied it. He became an expert in that one area, and then he made the course as he went through the book, and he literally just made it as he went on. So I always say to people, there's really no such thing as an expert, because things are always changing. So make a course based on where you are in this moment. So I still consider myself a beginner. So I make courses for beginners. I make courses for intermediate level. I don't believe I've reached advanced level in my business. And until I do, then I will speak on that more so. So it's wherever you are in this moment, create from where you are.
Right.
Um, yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You're meeting them where you are. You're not speaking down
Yeah.
to them, right? I mean, it's all
No,
about getting that message to resonate with the right audience. Do you have
absolutely.
any tips on, like, for somebody really really new? Like, how do you find an audience? How do you build an audience?
Most of the time, your audience is already with you. You've got a network. If you're not on social media, which is very rare, then I would say just start building something, and start speaking to people from your voice. For start showing your personality and building your brand that way. And just remember to show a little bit of you. If you're comfortable on camera, then start doing some videos, start having some conversations, and start building from whatever your passion is. Always start from where your passion is.
Right.
But if you do have a social media, you're probably sharing things anyway. And if it's a little bit all over the place, just start to funnel everything down into one area, and just see what your test your posts and see what your engagement is, and then focus on what works.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at your Instagram right now, and
Yeah.
I can see that you've definitely got a style. It looks like you've got certain colors that you tend to use more consistently.
Yeah.
Is that something that you kind of learned as you go, or is that a coincidence? And what tools do you
It's
use to design your Instagram page?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me that. I actually have created a course on that very same thing. I use Canva. I love Canva. I'm in love with Canva. So yeah, I I use Canva for everything. So I've created a course to show people some of the features that a lot of people don't know even exist. It is intentional, but I'm not one of those people, as you can see, that has a completely cohesive feed where everything is perfectly aligned. I like to show my personality, and that's organized chaos, to be honest.
I would
So yeah,
assume you are a Canva affiliate.
yes, I am.
For you. Good for you. So if anyone
Thank you.
is not familiar with Canva, go ahead and use Marie's affiliate link and go ahead and sign up for Canva. Make sure
Absolutely.
we're
And
bringing
you
it
can
on
get the
home.
course. You can get the course is 2 hours of good content. So that's available now. It's actually the newest one I've done.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, since the show is called Do the Damn Thing and we are talking to really your audience as well as ours, those people who
Yeah.
maybe are a little nervous, they want to start, they're not sure. What do you have to say to them? What advice do you have to help them maybe put those limiting beliefs out the door and get up and take action? What would you say to the people out there afraid?
I would say start on day one and just what for want of no better phrase, just do the damn thing from day one. You
Yeah.
know, don't second guess yourself, because you didn't second guess yourself when you started your social media pages. You've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you're sharing other people's memes. Start to share things that are connected to you and what you want to do and whatever your goal is.
Mhm.
I don't know why you have a social media. Sometimes it's just to share your personality in that moment, but keep doing that, but have a focus, have an actual focus and a goal, and just start from day one, and keep going from there, and you'll build up. And if there's a software or a package or a platform that you have been told to use, don't just rush in. Study it, go through it, go through a course. It doesn't have to be mine. Go through a course, go through a webinar, go through an ebook, study it, and then start to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And then you become your own expert in your own area.
Yep.
And that might take you a month. It might take you 3. It doesn't matter. But start today.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a quote out there that's, and I'm sure I'm going to botch this, but it says something along the lines of, there's somebody out there, probably a lot of people out there who need to hear it in your voice because there's so much
Yeah,
information overload right out there on the interwebs. And it's like, well, somebody else is already saying it. How can I say it better than them? It's like, somebody
right.
needs to hear it from you. Somebody needs to hear it the way Marie says it, like,
Yeah,
and I love that. And I think that is very aligned with what you've been telling me here today. Just be
absolutely.
yourself, be authentic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't try to be anybody else but yourself. Just be who you are. And don't try to change the things that you feel somebody else will judge. A good example is Gary Vee. He doesn't change who he is. He doesn't stop swearing because he doesn't know who's listening in that moment. That's his thing. That's how he operates. He's not putting it on. He's not doing any extra. He's giving value, but he's also giving you his actual personality. Some people will like it, some people won't. You can't please everybody.
Right.
You
But the
just can't.
right people
Yeah.
will like it. The right people
Yes.
will like
The
it.
right
Awesome.
people will stay.
Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned that organized chaos is how you live, and that is sort of your jam. Are there tools or software that you use that you could not live without? No, I don't mean
um,
the platforms like Instagram and Facebook. I mean the tools you
yeah.
use like Canva. Like what runs your business?
My business is run off of MailChimp. I am actually about to go into Samcart. So I'll be able to tell you a bit more about that. But I'm
And offer
pretty
a
sure.
course, I'm sure.
And exactly. There you go. My business is run, obviously, of course, off Canva. I would say that is probably my number one because it provides most of my content, including my course content as well. I also use software like PowerSoft. So that does my editing. It does my MP4 conversions. It does my screen recording as well, which is essential to my course creation. And you can get something called it's like an PowerSoft all-in-one package, so everything comes under one umbrella. And if you want to delay, January is probably the best time to grab that package. So there's a nugget there. They do a pretty good sale, so you can grab it then as well. Is there anything else? Right now, no. Probably Amazon, actually. I seem to buy quite a bit off there. I've got my microphones, my speakers, that sort of thing. Everything that kind of runs my business is usually just technical and software. Yeah, there's nothing else. I try not to have too many things. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you can get overwhelmed with all the choices. So I always like to hear what other people are using and, real life stories. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, Charlie says, how do you like working with MailChimp? Do you find that your emails are rejected like crazy? Any tips so that you don't end up in the dreaded spam folder or not even delivered at all?
I haven't had that problem. I did have some initial problems. Unfortunately, they don't like the word affiliate marketing. It seems to flag an issue, and I had my account closed twice. So
That's a
be
problem for
careful.
someone doing affiliate marketing.
Exactly, that is, and I actually, you know what, I raised that issue with them, and they seemed to not know what on earth I was talking about. So, I guess I was imagining it, but I tried other platforms, and I wasn't happy with the results. I wasn't happy with the feel of it. So I've come back to MailChimp, and I'm very careful about what I put in the content. My open rates are very good. It looks as if everything's been sending. I think the bounce rate is very low, maybe one or two, and that might be the fault of the potential customer who's maybe put in the wrong address, or maybe it's not live anymore.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't had any issues so far.
I've
Fingers
been eaten
crossed.
by the omnivore the bug in Mailchimp a few times, so I know that different people like. Are you familiar with the omnivore Mailchimp? That's a whole different story. But whatever
I,
mail platform you like, I think the fact that you have a strategy with email is the most important thing. Would you agree?
yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. We
yeah,
only have a couple more minutes, but I just wanted to touch on uh, we we have to touch on coronavirus and how has this pandemic affected your livelihood and has it been beneficial? Obviously not from
yeah.
a health perspective. Yeah, I would think.
From a health perspective, at the very beginning, it was
Terrifying.
obviously worrying. It was scary. You had to kind of make sure that you mentioned it in certain things to let people know that you were aware of what's going on and how they must be feeling. And also, from my perspective, during lockdown, it changed the way that I do my business, how I work in my business from a home life perspective. But in terms of actual sales, I saw an increase. I saw an increase around the sort of second month. Over here, we started our lockdown late March in the UK. So I saw an increase around probably the end of April, beginning of May. And I think that's just generally because everybody's looking for ways that they can have some security.
Right.
And yeah, they want some financial security. And even though I'm not in the stocks and shares market, it's just about them actually putting some action in and utilizing the things that they're already on. Everybody was on a Facebook Live and an Instagram Live during lockdown. And I think they still are, maybe not as much. But how do we utilize that to make money? How do we use our audience? And I saw an increase. So you kind of focus on that. You don't want to use it as a tool, but you have to be aware of what's happening around you, and then use it as an advantage in a way.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of eyes were opened into the
Yeah,
possibilities that are out there. I mean, just in,
yeah,
companies like Microsoft now offering permanent remote working. And,
yeah,
Zoom
exactly.
stock is through the roof. You mentioned stocks and change. So,
Yes.
there's a lot of opportunity that can be had, and people have had to pivot. And so, yeah, you've got, I think you hit the nail on the head. We are just about out of time, but I wanted to give everybody and give you an opportunity to tell everybody where to find you, how to get in touch with you. We will also list it in all of the descriptions below. But how can people, reach out to you and get your courses?
No problem. The best way to do it is to join me on Instagram. So it's Marie Tavernier with an S on the end. And you can find me there. And I usually link everything that I post to a relevant course or ebook or webinar. And I share stuff there first. So I usually do like a pre-order so that you know what's coming and what I'm working on. So you can find me on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go be an affiliate marketer. I'm going to quit my day job. No, but it did light bulbs went off. So I
I
appreciate
have
it.
another one. It's
Yeah.
worked.
Thank you so much for your time. And we'll see
Thank-
everybody next week. Bye bye.
Thanks, Laura.